Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
How was the experience? For most of you, it may have been the first time you're giving a prepared speech. How's the experience? Who gave a prepared speech for the first time on the stage? Prepared speech, not introduction. Prepared speech, raise your hand. Prepared speech. Prepared speech. Up or down? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 people gave for the first time prepared speech, and 13 people have given prepared speech before, whether once, twice, 10 times, 100 times, some 900 times. I have my own calculation of giving marks. We'll discuss that, inshallah, on the third day of the training day after tomorrow. And I'll show you how I give marks. But normally, if I'm judging a person who's not a professional speaker, then the marking system is different. On the high level, it matches. Why? I give marks for the dress code, for the this, telling you, inshallah, day after tomorrow. And by default, an average person who knows English comes on the stage should get minimum 30. How much? If he knows English well, he should minimum get 30 out of 100 by default. And because we have interviewed and Brother Khalim has spent his time interviewing, the English should be good and passion. So minimum anyone comes on the stage, the average should be 40. Thinking you're coming for the first time. If you have come before, then you should get 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. But if you get 70 of this rating and 70 of the end rating, there is the difference. Because there the rating will be professional. In this rating that you're coming. But the higher you go, it becomes more professional. If you get an average person who knows English and comes on the stage, and if I judge, if 10 people come, you add up all 10 marks and divide by 10, the answer would be 30, because there's something like called as pronunciation. He has to get marks. He has to get 6 or 7. All of you have been selected. So by default, you have to get, even if you don't know public speaking skills. You are wearing good clothes. By default, you have to get marks out of 5. By default. So an average person, if none of you ever spoke on the stage, an average person who knows English comes on the stage should get 30. An average person who has been interviewed by Khalim and agreeing none of you have ever come on the stage should get 40. The result is that 3 of you amongst you out of 20 did get below 30. I won't spell out. Majority came between 30 and got below 40. That means what expectation was only, sorry, not 3, 4. 4 people got below 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of the people got above 40. Expectation was that everyone should get above 40. And those who have come on the stage should get actually more than 50. Out of those who got above 40, out of 6, only 2 got above 50. Only 2. And fortunately or unfortunately, though I know that I was told that about 14 people. How many? 14 people came on the stage. How many did not come on the stage? 6, no? How many did not come on the stage? Can you raise your hand? Before, with a prepared speech. Prepared speech. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if you come, you should get 40. Because you're not prepared. Those who have a prepared speech, who have done an experience, should get more marks. Maybe you have experience, but you don't know the techniques. You may have spoken 100 times on the stage. And you may be thinking it's very good. But with technique, it will be multiple times better. Only 2 of the people got more than 60. Actually, they got more than 70. The reason is that because both happen to be from the school, Islamic International School, where we train people to give speeches from the age of 4. So only 2 of the participants crossed. They're supposed to cross 60, but they crossed 70. And both, fortunately or unfortunately, happened to be from the Islamic International School. The remaining 4 got between 40 and 45. 40 and 45 means, because you have been interviewed, fine. If you have been interviewed, you have to get minimum 40, because Brother Kaleem saw the English should be good, the passion should be there. Inshallah, on the last day of this course, we will show you the comparison between the first day and the last day. It's good news and bad news both. Bad news that if you have been on the stage so many times and you didn't know public speaking skills, if you had done this training maybe before, it would have been multiple times better. The good news is better late than never. So 4 people got between 40 and 45. 2 people got above 70. But after 70, every mark is important. From 80 to 81 is more difficult than 10 to 60. From 80 to 81 marks is more difficult than 10 to 60. From 81 to 82 is more difficult. From 80 to 83 is more difficult. Inshallah, your speeches have been recorded. Last day, we will show you both your speeches. First day and last day. And you yourself can judge. There has to be a difference in all of you, including those who have scored above 70. I will not tell how much they scored. It will be a difference. But naturally, that time my marking would be a different level. For anyone to come on Peace TV, a minimum the speaker should have 60 marks. We do have speakers less than 60 if you have some other qualification. So inshallah, I look forward for the next 31 days, which we'll discuss in detail, inshallah, from the next day. That's day after tomorrow, the 3rd day of the training program. But overall, it was good that people from different walks of life, some have come the first time, some have been trainers, some have been public speakers for years together, and some have been trainers for sessions. Trainers and training other people, and the effectiveness of the skill you'll come to know when we do the technique, inshallah, day after tomorrow. And once you reach a high level, anything you do, except for a few things, no problem. Even if you break the rules, that is when you reach a level. When you reach a level, then you can break your rules and yet be effective, but that will come later on. First, come to a certain level. So inshallah, when we do the techniques day after tomorrow, you yourself will realize what you did, what you should not have done, and what you should do inshallah in future. We'll have a short break. We'll have for 20 minutes so that we come back fast. And today we are going to have the extended session, which is mentioned in advance. That some days we may have the extended session, and the extended session mainly is not because we are delayed today. It is mainly because yesterday we missed a session, introduction to the Dawah training program, which we shall do immediately after the break. Inshallah, I'll try and make it short. After that, we will have the session on techniques of giving reference of the Quran. If time permits, we will also do the revision of the first 25 surahs of the Quran. If time doesn't permit, we'll have the break, Maghrib Salah, and then do the revision of the Quranic surahs, and then the revision of the Quranic verses, inshallah.
Brother Umar Yusuf from Sri Lanka. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen wa salatu wa salamu ala Rasulillah. My dear respected elders and brothers in Islam, I would like to speak about understanding the Quran, inshaAllah ta'ala. So, the most amazing and the most sacred of scriptures and the sacred of words in the surface of the earth is the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and every one of us know about this. But unfortunately and sadly, many Muslims, majority of the Muslims, don't understand the Quran. Don't understand the Quran. So, Arabic has turned out to become the one and only language on the surface of the earth where people don't understand the Quran and they learn it only to read the Quran. Subhanallah. Will you ever take out a newspaper in the morning only to read without understanding the newspaper? No, but we need to understand the newspaper just like that we need to understand the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala before we attempt to read it. My beloved brothers and elders in Islam, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, Surah Muhammad, chapter number 47, verse number 24, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, أَفَلَا يَتَدَبَّرُونَ الْقُرْآنَ أَمْ عَلَىٰ قُلُوبٍ أَقْفَالُهَا. In fact, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asks you, will you not ponder upon the Quran, or your hearts are locked? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not say يَقْرَؤُونَ. Allah did not use the word read. Allah used the word يَتَدَبَّرُونَ, ponder or reflect to understand. My beloved brothers and elders in Islam, Ali radiallahu anhu, the famous great person, he said, لا فائدة في قراءة ليس فيها تدبر. There is no benefit in a recitation where there is no pondering and reflecting. My beloved brothers and elders in Islam, I would say, even if you are to spend half of your life in search of the understanding of the Quran, I would say it is a worth it project. Because you are going to spend your rest of your life in the understanding of the Quran and with consciousness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. My beloved brothers and elders in Islam, as da'is, I call upon all of you, just as how you would learn a language for a job that you are called for, I would request you to learn the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, understand the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, learn the language to learn the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That would be more beneficial for all of us. Wa akhir da'wana anil hamdulillahi rabbil alameen.
Inshallah, we'll go for a break now. And we'll resume, inshallah, at 5 p.m. sharp, inshallah. So you can finish with your Asr prayers and your tea break. And be back at least 5 minutes before 5, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.
لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله محمد رسول الله أرجو رضاك يا الله أنت الرحيم يا الله هبني عطاك يا الله أنت الكريم منك العطاء يا الله أنت العظيم يا الله فيك الرجاء يا الله أنت الحليم الرحمن الستار ملك الملك الغفار الوهاب المنان المتعال الرحمن الستار ملك الملك الغفار الوهاب المنان المتعال الله الله يا ربي يا الله